everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Nico Chief Bricks, and today is another mock building video. I'm going to be building a clone base on Alderaan. So before we get started, how about you lightsaber slash that like button, and without further ado, let's get building. So with every clone base that I've built, I wanted to start off with how big did I want this base to be, and I ended up settling on pretty much a little bit bigger than one base plate. Once I settled with that, it was time to build up the walls. I was going with just a normal kind of square base with the roof being another smaller second floor. And then I went and did two of the structure pieces in the front of the base because I really did want to incorporate those. I went ahead and did one layer of dark bluish gray bricks on each side and a little pattern with in between light bluish gray. And then I went ahead and continued building up the wall of the base using every single brick that I had. I wanted to build the base at least at the height of that structure or support piece because I also wanted to have enough bricks to then build that second floor on the roof. Then to finish out the first floor of the base, it was time to build the rooms. I wanted to have at least 3 rooms, with there being an armory, a control room, and a cafeteria, as I really do have a little table design that I like using for the cafeteria, and this will be my second cafeteria I've built in a clone base, so I feel like I hadn't done it in a while, so I wanted to go ahead and incorporate it there. And I felt like with the size of the base, I feel like I had the pieces to do a cafeteria. So once that was all done, it was time to tile off the bricks so I can make the roof modular and easily attachable and detachable to look at the interior. I had also put a bunch of modified bricks on the walls so there could be some wall decor, and now it was time to build up the second floor. I was debating on how big I wanted the second floor to be, as I was running out of bricks, but I think with what I settled on, it all worked perfectly, and I had enough bricks to do a sizable wall for the second floor. Now, for the second floor interior, there will not be one. I just wanted to build the second tower, essentially, for the base. With also the plates, it was all going to be tiled up, so now it was time to tile off the entire roof. And then I did kind of like some slopes with some bricks leading up to the wall just for some added detail. And then I wanted some form of railing or fortification, so I just layered the entire roof from left to right with just some bricks. And then it was time to tile off, and I did want to add some red in there, you know, for some Republic colors, so I used a bunch of tiles. I settled on a horizontal. Right now it's vertical, but I did switch to horizontal because I definitely think that did look better. And, you know, it kind of just looked like a random red spot right now. But it was time to tile off the rest of the roof. So because this is Alderaan, I wanted there to be at least 2 mountain sections on the base to act as if some part of the base was in between a mountain. Once that mountain section was done, it was time to tile off the top of the base, the second floor. And like I did with the first roof, I also added some fortifications slash kind of railing for the top of the roof, and then I kept up that horizontal pattern of dark red plates to have the Republic colors. And then for the fortifications slash railing, I tiled them off with a mix of plates and tiles of dark bluish gray, and I definitely think that added a lot more detail and overall smoothness to the base look. So I definitely do think that was a good choice, especially with that dark bluish gray, to add a little bit more color to mix with the light bluish gray of the roof plating. I also added a bunch of defenses for the base with a total of 5 turrets, so this is going to be a pretty hard base to take down if you're the droids. Once all that was done, for the front, I wanted to add a little section with some barriers and some cover for some clones to use with some crates. So I made the section fully dark bluish gray, as I had a lot of that left. Once that was all done, I wanted there to be a dark tan pathway leading left and right from the base, and then the rest of it being a grassy area, as Alderaan is mostly grass. I put some plates on bricks to add a bit of leveling to it, and then I also had done that for the path as well, so it wasn't just one flat path going across the base plate. The right section is on an incline, while the left section stayed neutral on the base plate itself. So now it was just time to cover up the rest of the gray base plate with all the grass pieces I had left and mix it in between some path pieces as well. Once all that was done, it was time to add the final touch of grass pieces, so I pretty much put 4 1x1 studs next to each other in a formation, and then put the 3-stemmed leaf pieces on each of them, and I basically sputtered that throughout the entire grassy area. And then in between each of those sections, I had put different type of leaf pieces to add a little bit more variety. Once that was all done, it was time to finish the interior and add all the clones necessary for the interior. Here is the finished clone base on Alderaan. So this is the outside part of the clone base. With Alderaan, I kind of looked at some reference pictures to see how the plants are kind of working there, and I just saw a few bushes spread out, at least in one of the concept arts that I saw. So I basically spaced out a couple of clusters of plant pieces throughout the entire build, and then sprinkled in some different type of plants in between to add a little bit of variety. And then as you can see, here is the dark tan path, and then I have 2 clone troopers walking like just a stroll or a patrol, at the beginning of the day or whatever, to just see if there's any activity happening on the world. Up here at the front of the base on the left side is a little guard post with some crates in the background, some supplies, and then there are 2 clone troopers just manning the post behind this barricade, just, protecting the base, standing guard. On the left side is a small mountain cluster with some snow, as Alderaan does have a lot of snow around the mountain area, on the ground and on the mountain itself. So I made sure to put some white pieces along some of the edges for some snow, and then I added some plates down here as a larger snow cluster. I think it turned out very nicely. I even took some of the what could be icicles from a Christmas set that I had gotten as a gift with purchase. Now, leading onto the base itself, on the roof, there are 2 regular turrets that I use a lot on my bases just because I really like the way they look. They're really simple, but they definitely have the turret look. They can swivel 360 degrees as they're just on 1 stud, so I have 2 of them down here ready to defend the base if necessary. I also have 2 clone troopers standing guard along the edges, just watching for any unknown activity. On the right side are 2 canisters that could just be fuel, some crates, and there's a clone trooper walking, so pretty much this way is the rest of the roof, and there is a doorway to enter. And then there's just some wall detail here just for some added exterior plating. I wanted to include something on the right side of the base so it wasn't just a blank wall, so I kind of just added some wedge plates in a kind of design and added just some small little pieces as some exterior detail, and then there is a Republic logo for the base. And there is the other rock cluster, part of the mountain, and like the first one, I sprinkled in some of the icicle pieces, slopes, and small round tiles to act as snow, and it turned out very nicely. And I wanted to definitely make it as tall as the base so that some of the base is in the mountain, and it just turned out very nicely. And on the very top of the roof are some more defenses and the generators that run the base. There's some vents for that generator, and then this generator can swivel, left and right. And then here are 2 turrets. This one is another of the simple design. This is another design that I've used, pretty much an upgraded version of the more simple one, but it's supposed to be more of a rocket turret. And then in the middle is kind of a cannon that I made that is connected to this generator here, and it's a more powerful one, kind of a sniper. There's also a small little control panel, whether it be for communications or anything if the clones need to come up here, Republic technicians, to fix anything. And then here is the full interior with the 3 rooms. With the armory, there are 2 weapon racks, 1 on each side, and then there are 2 clone troopers in there trying to get some weapons. There are also some crates filled with thermo detonators, and every armory needs a bunch of weapons. For the control room, there is a little table with a hologram showing just the lay of the land with a clone trooper using the control panel. Over here is pretty much the design of Lego Man 360, but I actually took it apart and kind of, put different sections. Like I put the hologram section on the wall holding a plate with a sticker on it with a bunch of controls, and then put the controls on each side for clone troopers to use. So pretty much kind of just changing the design up a little bit and pretty much just breaking it and using different sections. But I wanted, I didn't just want to reuse it. I wanted to put my little twist on it, but it's not really something that can be built. I just put it in different sections. In the main hallway of the base, there are just various crates scattered throughout the hallway just for some detail. And then there are 2 control panels for officers or clone troopers to use. I know it is the technically a cashier printed slope, but let's just act like they're control panels. The cafeteria has a couple of clone troopers just having food. This one is having blue milk, and then this clone trooper's having some bread, and then there's just the table that I built kind of to mimic the Camino tables a little bit, using those dark, like bluish gray slope kind of pieces with some long tiles for the table. Over here, this clone trooper is going to this control panel to order up some food, and then there in the corner can be like a liquid container for some drinks. And then over here in this corner is just a bunch of more crates, really just simple builds. I had a very fun time building this base, and especially adding that snow to that rock work. It turned out very nicely and was very awesome to do, especially for the Alderaan landscape. If you have any suggestions on what I should build next, definitely comment down below. I'm very happy to hear what you have to say. If you enjoyed the video, definitely lightsaber slash that like button and hit the subscribe button so you do not miss any more LEGO Star Wars content. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace.